Oh, this booth is not made for anybody over 2.5 feet. Just trying to find a place for this here mic. Okay. Hi, Alicia.
Hi, Doc.
Like, hi, Felicia. All right, so I have a couple of simple questions.
Okay.
What does being a creator mean to you?
It means being a producer because so much of today we do consuming. And being a creator is my opportunity to give back into that pool that I'm drawing from.
That's dope. That's dope. And you're right. Like, I think a lot of people don't realize how much you create until you start creating. I mean, how much you consume until you start creating. Once you start creating, you're like, oh, I was kind of consuming a lot. All right. So what is the biggest thing or impactful thing that you learned from being a creator?
I think really how creative I am because I never really thought about it. I'm an engineer, like by career.
That's not supposed to go together.
And so I'm very left-brained.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I started volunteering at my church doing video and graphics that I even realized I had this creative side, and where people started asking me, "Oh, you do this for a living?" No, I'm an engineer by trade.
That's a good point. And I want to ask you this then, because that's a new question I hadn't even thought of. When someone asks you about, say, being a creator before versus someone asks you about being a creator now, what's the delta? What do you see the differences?
As far as
Like if someone says, "Oh, what do you do?" Like, people
okay,
fumble over the whole
well,
YouTube combo.
well, to me though, like when I first started being an engineer, it was creative because we were designing everything. But as we transitioned and they had more suppliers doing all the design work, you became more of a paper pusher, an overseer kind of deal. You weren't creating, so you lose that ability.
Right.
But like when I started doing things for the church, it was just like, oh wow, I could do this and I can do that. And my brain just exploded on the different ways that I could create stuff. And it was such a departure from what I did in everyday life. It just breathed new life back into me.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. What type of engineer?
Mechanical.
I mean, for like specific industry?
For automotive, General
Detroit.
Motors. For I work for a supplier and I work for General Motors. So
Oh,
Saturn.
interesting.
When Saturn was interesting.
Whoa, the dealership that I worked at back in the day, we had a Saturn wing, and I always thought it was just cool because they were so different from like all the other traditional, big motor makers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. So if you had, because you had a crazy transformation over the last couple of years, I'm super impressed by it. If you had any advice you would give back to OG AT, and maybe another creator out here who's just like finding their legs, what would it be?
Do it dirty.
That's called good coaching. That's called good coaching.
To me, it's like I am a recovering perfectionist.
Yes.
And then once you realize that perfection is a journey, not a destination, so you're gonna get better every day going towards perfection. But my mind goes, well, if I reach perfection, then what is there left to do?
Yes, I love it. All right, last question. What is the impact that you hope to leave by being the creator that you are?
Well, primarily, most of what I'm doing right now is surrounding Black history, especially those of Black women. And I just want our voices to be heard and our stories to be told and shared. Because even in our little microcosms of neighborhoods and cities, we don't share stuff across the state, and that's how I fell into this was when I watched Hidden Figures. I'm an engineer. I had heard nothing about these women. No one ever taught us that we were a part of NASA, a part of the first launch.
I didn't know. And I was a little bit young at the time, but I was close enough to it that I should have known that, and I didn't know.
And then, but everyone in that area knew, but they didn't share it. And it sent me down a path of saying, well, if I don't know this, what else don't I know?
Gangster, gangster.
And so it's not about, sharing a whole bunch of dates and that kind of thing of boring history. Because I have a friend that writes historical romance. And she says if she wrote just a history book, nobody would read it. But when she weaves the history inside the romance, people don't realize to the end that they've been taught.
Oh, snap. Yes. Remember grandma used to put the medicine like in the diamond tap because the diamond tap tastes good. The other medicine nasty, so they were working together. Yo, that's brilliant. I don't know if you got a chance to meet her, but yesterday, actually 2 days, I got to meet this little girl named Ishara. She's from Maryland. She's about maybe 8 to 10. And she's like a scientist, like mad scientist. She's super smart, mathematician. And I don't know, did you get a chance to talk to her? And like, how does that make you feel as someone that has kind of lived that path to see that we still got it, you know?
Well, I think that's the key is that we never lost it. We just
Right.
don't know.
We don't know.
And we look at our surroundings because that's, for me, growing up, my parents took me traveling. So I got to see other neighborhoods, other cities, other states. And I wasn't insular. A lot of us live in an insular community, but we never even leave our county.
Facts.
But I want kids as well as adults, because Hidden Figures really affected me. I want kids and adults to realize that if your short-term family isn't all that great, you got a bigger family to pull from to
Right.
pattern yourself after.
Right.
We're not
definitely
alone.
depended on a little bit of the outside family. So yeah, man, that is amazing. All right. Creator, past, and present. Let's name 2 creators that really impact you, past and present.
Past would probably be Maya Angelou.
Me too.
Because I had the opportunity to meet her and I was just blown away by her presence. Because, like, I've met a lot of famous people because some of my family was in the music industry. So, so famous people don't. But she had this presence, this aura, but she was so kind and gracious to us. At the same time, it was amazing, amazing experience. Presently,
Yolanda.
I'm
I'm joking.
I'm a big reader, so a lot of that is authors and stuff. So I would have to say Pearl Cleage, because there's something about her books that are so real and like every day, and you go, man, if we could create what she has in her books in our communities, it would be amazing. And she's also, because she writes plays and all that kind of stuff, if you listen to her read her books, it creates a whole picture for you.
Gangster. All right. I appreciate. How does everybody find you?
Everybody can find me at Alicia T Says on YouTube. And my website is aliciatsays.com.
All right. There you go. I just want to let you know I'm super proud of what you've done. I want you to keep going because I think in that creative space, you're an absolute beast. You're about to explode.
I appreciate you.
I love you, baby. Yes. Luis, we quit. Dude, that was good. AT. See? Come on, son.
I'm getting there.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet.